Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we uncover the hidden stories in your favorite company's financial reports. And today, well, let's just say some company insiders seem to be getting a nice little bonus a bit earlier than expected. Alright folks, we're diving into a filing from Better Home and Finance Holding Company. Now, these 8K forms are usually about big immediate news. Think major events like a company being bought or sold or big leadership changes. Today's filing is all about executive compensation, specifically some new stock awards. So what is the news? On the 3rd of November 2025, the board of directors at Better Home and Finance Holding Company decided to hand out some restricted stock units, which we call ARSAs for short, to some of their top executives. These are basically promises for future stock, but there are some conditions, some strings attached. They're tied to how well the company does, both in terms of stock price and how much money it makes in sales. Let's talk about the big players here. The CEO, Vishal Garg, is getting 2 batches of these RSUs. The first batch is for 287,500 RSUs, and these will only be earned if the company's stock hits certain price targets. The second batch, also 287,500 RSUs, is tied to the company hitting specific revenue goals. So, if the company does well, Mr. Garg gets more stock. It's a pretty common way to keep top leaders focused on the company's performance. Then we have Paula Tuffin, who holds a few important titles, including General Counsel and Corporate Secretary. She is also receiving RSUs, but in smaller amounts. She is getting 50,000 RSUs tied to stock price goals and another 50,000 RSUs linked to revenue targets. So her incentives are aligned with the CEO's. Now, here is where it gets interesting. These performance goals aren't everyday targets. They have a pretty wide window for achievement from the 1st of October 2025 all the way to the 31st of December 2030. If those goals aren't met within that 5-year period, the RSUs are just gone, no payout. On top of that, there is a time-based element. About a quarter of the RSUs will vest, meaning they become yours, after 12 months from when they were granted. The rest will vest gradually over the next 3 years in equal chunks every 3 months. So it is a double whammy of conditions, performance and time. You need both to pass for these RSUs to fully pay out, and you have to still be working for the company. Therese also a mention of accelerated vesting, which means they could get these REs sooner under certain circumstances. This usually happens if the company lets them go without a good reason, or if they leave for a good reason, especially if it is around a change in ownership or a company merger. This is detailed further in another document, their proxy statement. But it essentially means they've got some protection if their job situation changes unexpectedly, particularly during a major company event. Alright, let's zoom out and think about what this means. Better Home and Finance Holding Company is giving out significant stock awards to its top executives. The fact that they're tied to stock price and revenue performance is pretty standard. It is meant to motivate leaders to make the company more valuable and generate more sales. The long performance period, 5 years, suggests the board wants to see sustained growth, not just a quick bump. The time vesting ensures that executives stick around to help achieve those goals. However, the mention of accelerated vesting is also noteworthy. It's a common practice to retain executives, making sure they don't leave for a competitor if there is uncertainty, especially if a sale or merger is on the horizon. On the flip side, it can sometimes feel like a safety net that might not be fully earned if the company is acquired. Now, looking at this filing, we don't have detailed financial tables this time. This 8K is purely about executive compensation announcements. So we can't dig into revenue numbers, profit margins, or debt levels right now. That analysis would typically come in their quarterly 10Q or annual 10Q reports. But the intention behind these awards is clear: to align executive interests with shareholder interests by encouraging stock price appreciation and revenue growth over the long term. For Better Home and Finance Holding Company, this move signals a focus on future growth and shareholder value. They're betting on their leadership team to steer the company towards success. The biggest risks here would be if the company fails to meet these performance targets within the specified timeframe. This could lead to a lack of motivation for the executives if they feel the goals are unattainable, or it could simply mean the company doesn't reach its potential, leaving these awards unearned. In essence, this is a forward-looking compensation strategy. The company is setting ambitious goals and putting significant stock incentives on the table to try and achieve them. The success of these RS, and thus the executive compensation, will ultimately depend on the company's actual performance in the coming years. So there you have it. A look at Better Home and Finance Holding Company's latest move to incentivize its top brass. What is your take on these stock awards? Do you think they're fair? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to Corporate Decoder for more insights. And don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description for even more discussions and analysis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.